did the Arsenal fans take this defeat?
They were not very happy at all, and you can understand why, because in the second half it wasn't a great performance from Arsenal. In the first half they played really well. Goalkeeper Jake Keane was magnificent. He made some wonderful, wonderful saves. The second half, before they brought the subs on, there was nothing. Just as they were bringing the subs on, Thomas Rosicky hit the crossbar, and that got the crowd going again, and I think they thought with the 3 subs coming on that would be it. But just as they got onto the pitch, that's when Olsen went down that left-hand side, produced a shot that came back off Chesney, and then, what's his name? Colin Kazim-Richards just got the ball bounced up, and he hit it into the ground, Jeff, and it bounced off the ground, hit the post, into the back of the net, and it was a bit of you'd probably have to say a smash and grab by Blackburn, but a great performance defensively. Michael Appleton has just been interviewed over my shoulder there. He'd be very proud of his team in the way that they carried out his tactics, because in that last 15 minutes when you thought maybe Arsenal are going to have a chance to break in and break through, they just held their line. They were brilliant. They were very, very deep, but they trusted their goalkeeper and they got away with it.
So, coming at what sort of stage in the game did Arsene Wenger start to bring the big guns on?
Well, it was just as they scored, Jeff. You know, basically with hardly any time left. You know, it's always one of those things before where the fans that hope that they start with them, you go and win the game, and then you bring them off. But when you've got to bring them on and they've got to try and get to the pace of the game, to be fair to Jack Wilshere, he played like Jack Wilshere does. He created 2 or 3 good opportunities, but they weren't taken by any of his teammates.
Not the ideal preparation, is it, for Arsenal? You know, with Bayern Munich to come to the Emirates next week.
No, not at all. Not at all, because like I said, from the beginning it wasn't a vintage Arsenal performance. The passing and the moving was nowhere near as good as what they can do. Jorginho, who had the best chances for them in the first half, failed to take those chances, and Giroud was anonymous, you know, basically. So they had nothing up front, and they were toiling away. Arteta was really doing his best to try and get them going, and when you come up against a determined Blackburn Rovers side, a well-organised Blackburn Rovers side like they did, they found it very, very hard to get through. Obviously they had to have a bit of luck, you know, the one that came off the crossbar, the goalkeeper plays well. The decision not to award them a penalty, I mean, that was a decision where the assistant gave Theo Walcott offside when it looked in all intents and purposes that he was onside, and Grant Hantley had brought him down, but the flag had already gone up.
OK, Cammy, thanks very much indeed. Story of the day, no question about that. Blackburn winning at Arsenal. Paul Merson, it's another cup that won't be going back to the Emirates. How surprised were you to hear that Arsene Wenger left out Jack Wilshere, Theo Walcott, Santi Cazorla, Sanya, Podolski, Ramsey today?
Yeah, I'm shocked. I mean, another trophy, another year. You know, the chances of winning the Champions League for me are minimal at best. And to lose that, why not go with your best team, win the game, and then get the 3 of them off? And they come off after 50 minutes, 60 minutes, and they're 2 or 3-0 up. You feel for the fans. You feel for the fans. I think it's disrespectful.
Well, maybe, but Charlie, when you look at the players who went in,
yeah,
you know, the likes of Vermaelen and Coquelin, Diaby, Rosicky, Jorginho, you know, they should be good enough, shouldn't they, to see off a championship side on their own ground?
Yeah, they should be. There's no disguising that factor, Jeff. There should be. But the facts are, why take the risk? Why not just go with your strongest team, get your best 2 players in Wilshere and Cazorla on? If you want to give Walcott a rest or somebody else a rest. But, you know, to take that risk when it's not necessary. It's a home game. Get momentum. We say a lot about momentum. Get momentum. Get the crowd up and supporting you, getting ready for Bayern Munich, because very quickly, I mean, Arsenal, the way they play at times, the fans will be coming in on Tuesday night for the Bayern Munich game, and they'll be tiptoeing into the stadium. They'll be quiet. They'll be tense. They'll be sitting there thinking, what type of performance are we going to get tonight? Because they don't know at the moment. They can't trust the defence is solid enough.
Do you fear that with a bad result against Bayern Munich, the fans will turn on Arsene Wenger?
Yeah, I think so. Let's not forget, Arsenal are good enough, and they're one of them strange teams, Jeff, that could beat Bayern Munich. They could turn Bayern Munich over, and you think, but it's a lot of pressure on the players now. A lot of pressure on Arsene Wenger. They're no way near certainties to finish in the top 4. They've got one of the best teams in European football, letting 1 goal away from home this season. I think it was a ricket by the keeper as well. So, for me, you win this game, you've got something to fall back on, the quarter-final of the FA Cup. I mean, this could be it on Tuesday night.